Hello everyone. I've not been uploading videos recently because I'm waiting for car ramps that are making for me, so I've been delaying some car maintenance that I need to do, given the fact that I'm a bit lazy about using the regular jack stands and everything. So really quick, I was driving the other day, check engine light went on, I opened the hood. The first thing I checked was the vacuum lines, and I basically found a crack on the vacuum line that goes to the charcoal canister. Okay, so what I'm showing now is basically an easy repair, since I don't want to buy a new full length line, and basically this will be a temporary fix. So what I'm doing is I bought a hose of the same diameter. Actually it's a 6 millimeters versus 6.6, that is the original one, and I'm using a copper tube to basically making connecting like the new hose with the hose that it's already in the car. Just for aesthetic reasons, I'm going to use like one of those wire thermo reacting cables. Okay, so of course I'm going to use some clamps, although I don't think are needed, just to be sure I don't have a leak in the fittings. And since the hose is still not being cut to the right length, I'm going to use the cigarette method to test for any other vacuum leaks. Typically I do from the fuel pressure regulator, but from the throttle body might even be a different circuit, and you have closest some typical places where you might have vacuum leaks, like the throttle body gasket or even the ECR valve, etc. Okay, so I'm just doing so, and luckily there's no other leaks according to this methodology. By the way, I still haven't figured out what is that thing that you see in the top of the valve cover. Maybe it's sort of like a gasket creator or something like that. I still don't know. And what you see there, it's now like the copper tube already covered by the thermo contracting cable, just for aesthetic reasons. There, clamp it, and of course I'm going to do the same at the other end after cutting the hose at the right length. I'm afraid that if I leave it as it is, given that I have added clamps, the clamps might end up scratching and breaking any other lines. So I'm going to cover it in a fashion that might not be super aesthetic, but at least will be effective for preventing the clamps to put a hole in any other hoses or in the brake fluid container. And what I'm going to end up using is actually one of those self-adhesive foams that you put around the doors or windows to prevent wind to come from there, or just to isolate a room. I believe that's going to make it. As I said, that it's not super aesthetic, but actually makes sense. And I'm going to, since I ended up liking that self-adhesive foam, I'm going to use it here as well. I know a lot of people cover these climate hose, and I'm going to do that because, as you might see there, it's already scratched. And what I'm doing basically with what I showed before with the vacuum leak, and now with this covering with foam, it's just try it. Okay, as I said, this might not be definitive. After driving the car for some minutes or even hours, I'm going to check if the self-adhesive foam is holding together, if it's not scratching any other hoses. Of course, the first time, the first couple of days, I'm going to closely monitor how these protections are working. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the video. That's a nice solution you can apply for connecting a hose that you need to cut. It's not the definitive solution, but it's a good temporary one. I see you in the next video.